Hello students, welcome to lesson number 14, Chemical Effects of Electric Current. This is one of the lesson, the continuation of class 6 and 7 electric current. This is our first slide. In this, we have definition of electric current. Based on electrical conductivity, there are two types of substances, conductors and insulators. All these things we are seeing in the slide. So what is the definition you studied about electric current? The movement or transfer of electrons from one substance to another. It is the definition you remember for electric current. And there are two types of substances. The substances which can conduct electricity are called as conductors, which cannot conduct electricity are called as insulators or non-conductors or poor conductors. We have a list of examples given here. Please go through all these examples so that you can identify the substances are able to conduct electricity or cannot conduct electricity. We'll move to the next slide now. In this, we are going to start the first topic given in this lesson. Do liquids conduct electricity? That is the conduction of electricity through liquids. So, we are comparing the conduction of electricity of solids and liquids. The solids can conduct electricity with the help of electrons. But in the case of liquids, the electricity is carried by positively charged ion called as cation and negatively charged ion called as anion. So positively charged ion is cation, negatively charged ion is called as anion. So next is, what is the second difference given here? Some chemical change takes place during this passage of electricity by ions in liquids. This chemical change is not happening in the case of solids. So that is the difference. So here two examples are given. So you can see here in copper sulfate solution. So copper sulfate solution, what is the formula you can remember? CuSO4, copper sulfate. So always the first one is representing positive, second one is representing negative. So when you are passing the electricity through copper sulfate solution, these two ions are separated. One is having positive charge called as cation, sulfate having negative charge so called as anion. The same type of chemical reaction happens when electricity is passed through acidified water. What is acidified water? Normal water does not contain more ions to pass the electricity. So, you are making the water as a good electrolyte to pass the electricity by adding diluted form of some acids like hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. Thereby, the water can conduct electricity. Once electricity is passed through water molecule, what happens? Hydrogen and oxygen, these two atoms are separated. First one is getting positive charge and second one is getting negative charge. We'll move to the next slide now. The definition for electrolyte. The type of liquid which can conduct electricity is called as electrolyte. Based on this, we have two types of electrolytes. The liquid which contains many ions, a lot of ions in it, that is called as strong electrolyte. So all the different types of strong acids and bases are coming under strong electrolyte because it contains lot of ions. And a solution or a liquid which conducts electricity to a lesser extent. Lesser means a small amount. Why it is conducting only lesser extent? Because it contains only very less number of ions in it. Such a type of solution is called as weak electrolyte. So you have examples like vinegar, lemon juice, carbonic acid solution, ammonium chloride solution, etc. So this is about strong and weak electrolyte which is used to conduct electricity. We'll move to the next slide. Electrode. So now we are coming to the main topic here. You have a special kind of apparatus. You are going to test now. So this apparatus, you are filling a type of solution. The solution is called as electrolyte, which can conduct electricity. Okay. Then what you are going to do next? You are keeping two types of electrodes immersed into this electrolyte. So I am giving different colors to understand. So one is having red color, one is given with yellow color. So one electrode we can give positive charge, second one we can give negative charge. So what is the name of the electrode having positive charge? The electrode which is having positive charge is named as cathode. What is the name? Cathode. So and another one having negative charge is named as anode. So once the electricity is passed through this electrolyte, what happens? Once this apparatus called as electrolytic cell having two electrodes and electrolyte solution connected to the electric circuit with the help of wires and cell, what happens? The electricity will be passing through the solution and the solution contains some molecules and it will be splitting into ions, positive ions as well as negative ions. So it contains some positive or negative ions here inside. Positive ions are there, negative, many positive and negative ions are there, and this cathode is having positive charge attracts always negative ions called as anions. So cathode is always attracting negative ions called as anions. Anode which is having negative charge always attract positive ions called as cations. So this is the connection. Always remember this anion to cathode, cation to anode. We'll move to the next slide now. We have 5 activities in this heading. The first one, 14.1. In this activity, we are going to test how is this electricity is passing and whether the given test material is a conductor or insulator. So what are the things required for performing this activity? One cell, the copper wire, then bulb and a tester. So whenever you get the tester, just think it has two types of parts. One is the handle is made up of rubber and the tip part is made up of metal. So the metal part is conductor of electricity and the handle is made up of rubber which is a type of insulator. So you are going to test both the sides by connecting these copper wires. So let's set this diagram to the metal part so the bulb is glowing. Here right side this is connected to the handle part so the bulb is not glowing. We'll move to the next slide now. What are the precautions you should be careful while doing the activity? Always check for the tight connections and select bulb, battery, tester, everything which is in working condition. And before connecting the wires into the tester, you can just join the free ends of the copper wires. Then check the bulb is glowing for testing all the things are in working condition, but do not do that for more than few seconds because it can drain up the battery by using all the chemicals present inside the battery. Next is activity 14.2 to show liquids conduct electricity. So for this, what are the things you require? You need an apparatus. In this yellow color solution is lemon juice or vinegar, that is called as electrolyte. Then this two free ends of the copper wires are dipping into the electrolyte and connecting to the electrical circuit. So we can check whether the bulb is glowing or not. Here the bulb is glowing means this electrolyte can conduct electricity. So this is the experiment. So what is the observation given here? The bulb is glowing, so the liquid conducts electricity. And in case if the bulb is not glowing, in that case you can tell the liquid does not conduct electricity. And what is next slide? Activity 3. The materials required. So here in this case, what are the things required for doing this activity? You need a matchbox, cardboard. You a need a compass. So compass is having one needle to show the deflection when electricity is passed through that. Then you need copper wires to connect. So from one end of this is connected to positive terminal of a cell. Then this is connected. So this is the small one represents the negative terminal. A series of cells are connected like this, and the free end is going like this. Here also there is a free end will be going like this. So you have two free ends like this, and these two free ends we are going to dip into the solutions which has to be checked for its conductivity of electricity. Like this, we are going to test this activity number 3. So we can test many solutions like this. What are the solutions we are going to test? Lemon juice, vinegar, tap water, vegetable oil, milk, honey, etc. So the same thing is given in table 14.1 in page number 175. So you have to check whether any deflection happens in the compass needle. If deflection is there, you can tell that is a good conductor. If there is no deflection, it is a poor conductor. So among these solutions, vegetable oil and honey does not contain any ions to pass the electricity, so that there is no deflection in the compass needle. So it is a poor conductor. So on the top in green color, what is given? A short note about LED light. What is LED full form? Light emitting diode, which is having two free wires which are called as LEDs. One is longer and another one is shorter. So whenever you are connecting LED bulb to an electrical connection, always remember to connect its longer end to the positive terminal of the battery and shorter one to the negative terminal. Then only it will be working. We'll move to the next slide now. Activity 14.4. So this is, you are going to check whether distilled water can conduct electricity. So you all know distilled water is a type of water used in chemical laboratories by removing all the minerals from it by the process called fractional distillation. So distilled water does not contain any minerals and there are no ions when electricity is passed through it formed. And so you are going to test the distilled water. The bulb, will it glow? No, bulb cannot glow because there are no ions to pass the electricity. So we are going to change this distilled water to a type of electrolyte by adding common salt called as sodium chloride, NaCl. So once this electricity is passed through distilled water having the sodium chloride, sodium cation and chlorine anion. These two are formed which will help to transfer the electrons. Which will help to transfer the electricity. We'll move to the next slide. So in this case, before going to the next slide, remember in this case, first distilled water cannot conduct electricity, bulb does not glow. Second case, after changing this to an electrolyte, the bulb will glow because there are ions to pass the electricity now. We'll move to the next slide. The last one, activity 14.5. Which of the given sample conducts electricity? So here we are taking rubber caps of bottles or any three containers. In that we are taking some very small quantity of distilled water and we are naming these as 1, 2 and 3. And to the first one we are adding lemon juice or diluted hydrochloric acid. To the second one, potassium hydroxide or potassium iodide. Third one, sugar. And we are going to check whether these are going to conduct electricity by connecting to electric apparatus. So we are connecting this to an electric circuit and checking whether the bulb glows or not. In that case, first two, the bulb is glowing. Then last one, the bulb does not glow because sugar does not contain any ions to pass the electricity. So by this we are going to wind up the part 1 of this lesson. We'll continue part 2 later. Thank you. Bye.